What's up, gamers? On this episode of the Freeroll, we've got an exciting first look at a new game called Celestia Ultimate. Celestia Ultimate is a blockchain-based MMORPG that is based on the Unreal Engine 5. It is going to be a very Pokemon inspired. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I am a huge Pokemon fan, so anytime I see a blockchain based game that is inspired by Pokemon, I am. Now, it's important to note that this is not even an alpha version of the game, it is a demo, and that means we've got a self-contained version of a portion of the game that we're able to check out, but it's not the full game, it's not the full intro, and it can't be judged as such. It's really just a way to show off what the game is going to look like, and it's very early, so we are likely to encounter bugs, and it's far from what the final product is going to look like. Nonetheless, it is still very exciting to get our hands on, and right away, we get dropped into a dungeon. We've got a character that already has a few champions or monsters that are part of his party, and there's a jester who gives us a riddle and then a task to start us off, which leads to our... One of the things that we were able to get a really nice introduction to is the battle system, and I'm happy to report that it is a lot of fun, and there's quite a bit here to check out. Now, in the demo, there seem to be a few limitations. For one, we weren't able to read a lot of the different stats and different things that we needed to interact with to learn more about each of the moves, but we could do a lot of guess and check, and I'm happy to tell you there's quite a bit here. There's a lot of different stats that each creature has and that influence the battle and your approach. There's also more than just selecting one of four moves like we know in the tried and true battle system that Pokemon has. There's basic attacks, there's special skills, there's special abilities, there's counter attacks, which is a really interesting mechanic that adds some additional skill. So it's also, as a standard, a 3-on-3 battle. I don't know if they're all going to be 3-on-3, but in the demo that we were experiencing, all of the battles were 3 versus 3. And that in of itself makes it more complicated and in-depth than a typical Pokemon battle. So there's going to be quite a lot to learn and interact with here. I think there's going to be quite a variety of different strategies as well that you can employ, and that is really, really important to this style of game because you're going to be doing a lot of battling. So if it's not interesting and fun, then a lot of the game becomes a big drag. Celestia Ultimate is going to launch with over 70 champions on its initial roster, which is about halfway to the size of the Generation 1 Pokemon. That is a really good start and should be more than enough to give us interesting and in-depth battle and gameplay. There's going to be a really cool trading system in place as well. Trading is a really important part of this style of game as well, but even more exciting than that, because it is blockchain based, there's going to be a full-on marketplace as well. This means that the champions that are NFTs are going to grow in value potentially as you evolve them and train them up, certainly as we determine which ones are going to be more part of the battle meta. Those will have a lot more value as well, and collecting, trading, training these up is going to be a whole lot of fun, and it'll be really interesting to see what that marketplace looks like because I've always wanted one for Pokemon. So this will be an interesting experiment. Celestia Ultimate is going to launch on the Epic Games Store, which is really, really exciting. There's starting to be a lot more Web3 games on Epic, and we love to see that. This means that there's a potential player base of millions right out of the gate, and while there's no reason to expect it to have instant popularity like that, this game does look like something that has real potential to gain some popularity in the marketplace, and I, for one, am very excited to see what they can do. There's a bunch of areas that you're going to be able to explore that we didn't make it to. I'm not sure if they were included in the demo or not, but when the full launch happens, there's going to be a bunch of different areas that we can explore. There's also going to be a game mode called Epic Raids, which is really exciting. Raids typically are a group battle against one very strong opponent. At least that's what a raid in Pokemon is. So I would expect something similar here, and that sounds like a lot of fun, especially if it's actually a real cooperative battle that we can do with our friends. I have been looking for games that are both web3 and multiplayer, so this might be an option for me and my friends. I am quite excited for this game to actually launch after having played it and getting my hands on it. My biggest complaint is that I need more. This really is just a teaser of what this game could be, and I'm quite excited to see what the rest of the game looks like when the full launch finally does come.
0